welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk about friendships. Now, before anybody gets offended, do like this. Relax. If the shoe doesn't fit, please don't wear it, okay? But we need to talk. We need to talk about friendships. Now, nowadays you hear a lot of things like people saying that, oh, people don't, why doesn't friendship last? Why are females not forgiving of each other? What's really going on in the female friendship space and all of that? And you hear people saying things like, oh, there's a lot of envy, there's a lot of competition, this, that, and the third, fake friendships, blah blah blah. Yes, while some of that is true, it's not always the case. Anybody wants a good friend, but now the thing is, do we usually ask ourselves, are we good friends? Because the issue most times is not that, oh, someone cannot be your friend, someone cannot hold space for you, your friend is not forgiving, this, that, and the third. The issue that I see most of the time is that a lot of females do not need friends. What they need are fans. They need people who don't hold them accountable, personal cheerleaders, people who cannot tell them when they are misbehaving, people who cannot tell them when they have offended them, people who will always support all their questionable life decisions, people who cannot tell them, who cannot call them to order, right? And it becomes an issue because you want to ask yourself that me that is expecting people to be a good friend to me, am I also a good friend? Am I a good person? Do I really need, am I really out here looking for friendship, or am I just looking for a fan club? Because I'll tell you what friendship is not. Friendship is not a fan club. Friendship is not a cheerleading club. Friendship is not supposed to be one-sided. If your friend is a whole other human being outside of you, with their own realities, with their own family dynamics, with their own problems, with their own insecurities. And that is why at every point, friendship is supposed to be a tool. When you're asking, when you're considering, oh, why are friendships not working out? Do you usually sometimes put yourself in the shoes of the other females? Because many times a lot of us are very insensitive. We can be very insensitive. What do I mean by this? You come to somebody, you probably are aware or not yet aware, you see that your friend is moody, you see your friend is moody, your friend who has always been there for you in good times, in bad times, you can see that that person is moody today. But because you have some good news, that is good, you want to really share, that is good. And you share the news with that friend on that particular day, and they respond the way the kind of response you are expecting to receive is what they give you. They say, oh, that's nice, I'm happy for you, but they may not be as happy because they have some very serious drama, some very serious issues going on in their lives that one, they may not want to share yet at that moment, which they cannot, they have the right to withhold information until they are ready to share, right? Or two, you have not bothered to be sensitive enough to notice the mood. You didn't ask, right? And of course, it would be weird. Imagine saying that, hey, I got a promotion, and your friend is like, you didn't even ask me why I'm moody. I just broke up with my boyfriend. Of course, she's not going to talk about that again. She's going to focus on what you're telling her. It's just that because of the pain and the emotion that she's dealing with at that moment, she may not be so happy for you. It doesn't make her a bad friend. Sometimes people come to you with pain, people come to you confiding in you, sharing with you their struggles, and all they can hear is how you are comparing it back with what is going on in your life. Somebody comes to you and say, "Oh, my husband is beating me. I really don't know how to get over this issue. I don't know what to where how to go from here." And you, the wonderful golden friend, your best thought of response is, "I can't relate. I married the best man in the world. I can't relate. My husband is a saint for this. Oh, my husband is a fantastic man." That was the moment. That was the moment that you thought you should share the amazing, life changing information about your marriage. That's the issue. Sometimes we don't know how to be friends. And the person who did this thing tomorrow will still go around and say, "Yeah, that's she's so jealous of me because her own marriage is not working out and my own is working out." It's not my fault. Oh, you are insensitive, madam. You don't know how to talk. People avoid you with their pain because you are not a safe space. Everybody is not the same. The fact that you people relate on it and bond on a certain level does not mean that you handle conflict the same way, right? And people have their reasons. Some people are not just good with words when emotions are high. They would either say something they're not supposed to say or not clearly express themselves clearly enough. And so they withdraw, allow time to pass. Some people communicate or express conflicts or hurt or disappointment better over text because they are better at writing than at speaking. And you cannot, it is not for you to condemn them and say, oh, you are a coward. Phones can never replace human communication. It's not about phones. It's even about the fact that if there were no phones, they would probably have written you a letter. It is not for you to condemn the way that your friend chooses to communicate or is better at communicating. We don't realize that this friend is a separate, it's not always about you. Do you know why some people don't communicate to you or communicate with you when you offend them? Because in the past they have seen how you're very good at flipping narratives. You are perpetually innocent. You are perpetually good through and through. Do you realize it's impossible for you to be faultless and harmless? Do you realize that it is problematic in itself for you to think that you are a saint? That means you're saying that Jesus did not die for you. Do you realize that it is hard to be friends with somebody who is incapable of seeing their faults, who thinks that they are angels, who thinks that they are saints, who thinks that if there is an issue it can never be them? If you think like that and your friend thinks like that, so who will settle the quarrel? Because you think that you're perfect. You think that the fault is not coming from you. There are people who think that it's always about when they have issues with people, they automatically assume that they are being the bigger person. They just assume that this is them being the bigger person. They cannot see that it could be that they have hurt somebody who is struggling to communicate. Another thing is how easily friendships become one sided. It is difficult to be around somebody like you, somebody who finds a way to always to be the center of attention, even in other people's moments. Someone who cannot give other people their moments, it is difficult to be friends with those people. Your friend is celebrating a promotion, suddenly you were also promoted. Your friend is buying a new house, suddenly you even almost bought the house. It's just that you didn't like the name of the street where the property was located. Then there are now this other aspect of one-sided friendships where it's always one person coming to come and confide in the other person. It's always one person coming with one problem or the other. It's always one person that is always having one drama going on. and the other person is holding space for them, is encouraging them, supporting them, listening to them. But the day the listener decides to become the venter, if there is such a word as that, the day the listener decides to vent her own, they become like the person who has always been coming to tell their story. That day, suddenly, that person is busy. Oh, please let me call you back. They just water it down. Your friend is going through something and they're talking to you about it, and you just water it down and somehow flip it again and tell a more painful story so that it becomes about you and not about your friend. I know that sometimes you think that that's you saying, oh, I can relate. It's not you saying you can relate. You're not holding space for your friends, or your friend will confide in you about something. The next thing, it has, for the next 7 business days, that will be the only thing that you want to write a caption around. That will be, you will be dropping shades like weapons of mass destruction. And you think that next time that person will ever, in their wildest dreams, in their wildest dream, come and confide in you. Some of you, the issue is that your friend will confide in you, and then you now use that opportunity to see that person finish. Your friend is telling you about what they are going through, and the best you can come up with in your head is, oh, so you're not even all that. And you begin to mock them. Yes, you may think, you that is surprised now, there are people who do that. You may think, oh, it doesn't happen because you don't do it, or your friends don't do it to you. There are people who do that. Then, because somebody has been vulnerable with you, you begin to treat that person like they are begging you for money, or you're feeding. You become so disrespectful because they gave you a chair, a front row chair, to experience a dilemma that they are facing in their personal lives. And tomorrow you ask yourself, why don't females hold space for themselves? Because you don't hold space for your female friends. So yes, indeed, a healthy friendship revolves around 2 people. When you say that somebody does not forgive you, you too, how do you behave? Because some of us think that it is our own rights, it is our own role in other people's lives to hurt them, misbehave, not take any accountability for it, and then it is for them to keep acting like all is well. It's just for them to just pretend that everything is okay and keep tolerating it. No. You are the one that can miss. It is for you. See, it is for you to do something. It is not for you to tell or detect how another person reacts to what you have done to them. If they want to distance themselves from you, they have the right to do that. You don't have any right to take it personal, especially if that is your usual way. That is a pattern for you, and each time they call you out on it, you find a way to make yourself the victim. Do not dream in your wildest imagination that such a friend will now come out and continue sounding like a broken record, so you make them feel stupid. It doesn't work that way. Another thing is that sometimes you are just so, I've mentioned this earlier, but let me explain, let me elaborate. You are so self-engrossed, you do not know when it's not about you. All right, there are friends who, when they are going through the most, they love to withdraw. Some people don't like pity. I am one of such people. I hate pity. I don't like to be pitied. It's not the same thing as, oh, I don't want people to understand what I'm going through. It's more of, I don't want to be the one who people are always saying, oh, sorry, please, I don't, right? And sometimes when I feel like this drama is not necessary, I don't need to involve people, I don't need to make it a whole thing, I will just deal with it myself. And the truth is that, let me even speak for myself because this one is something that personally I can relate to. The truth is that I am more comfortable in solitude. It's not something that everybody can relate to, but my best moments are my alone moments. I can never be tired of being alone. I will relate with other human beings because, yes, it is necessary. Nobody was built to be an island, but solitude is my safe space. So when I don't feel safe about anything in my life, I like to shut down. Now, if I'm processing things, if I'm going through a lot, I shut down and I stay in my head and I deal with it. And then I come back and everything is okay. It may take 2 days, it may take 1 month, it may take 3 months. It doesn't mean that in that moment, if you come to me, I'm going to ignore you. That's not what it means. It doesn't mean that I switch off my phone and become and just go missing in action. No, it doesn't mean that. What it means is that I will not volunteer to show up and I might decline some meetings. But if you call me, I will pick. If you talk to me, I will pick. I may not be available for a long, unnecessary chit chat, but I will talk to you. I'm not going to snub you, I'm not going to ignore you, but I'm not just in that zone. I won't be my usual bubbly self. A real friend understands this or should understand. You notice patterns. Probably your friend should have even told you that this is how I deal with stuff. It's not about you. You know that before somebody met you, they've had so many life experiences that have shaped them into how they now relate with the world. They are not magically going to change because they met you yesterday. So if you want a good friend, can you also be a good friend? Can you also accommodate? Do you also tolerate? Or do you easily dismiss people and say, "Oh, she's just so weird. I don't even know what she's feeling like." And now, let's talk about the parts that we like to deny. Envy. You see this one? I would die on this hill. We love to deny that there is no such a thing as envy and silent competition among us ladies. You see that whole talk that is flying around social media saying that, oh, nobody's envious of you. Big lie. For one thing, if nobody is really jealous of anybody, where did the word emanate from? And how come it has been around for such a long time? Are you aware that there are words that have simply gone into extinction because it is no longer relevant and people no longer use them? Do your research. How come the words envy and jealousy are very commonly used phrase if people don't do it? So many times the envy that is being talked about is not imagined. It is real. You know, I think that many female friendships did not die because of betrayal. I think it died from envy. There are two ways to this thing, actually, in reality. There's the imagined envy that one party feels that this other person is envious of me. I'm doing everything to pepper her. Let me do this one will pepper her. Let me do this, and she will collect. Let me do this, and she will know that I'm the very one. I'm the this, and anything that your friend does, you are viewing it from that lens of, she's still jealous of me. Yeah, she can. There's the imagined envy. And then there's actual envy. When your friend cannot tell you good news without your face dropping. Some people are so, let me not use the word miserable. Some people are so envious that just the mention of their friend telling them about how a very simple event of how their husband treated them nicely, their face will just drop. You think people cannot see your face? Yes, it is me that talked about the fact that sometimes your friend is going through something and that reaction is not about you. That one day, that one is there. But the fact that, why is it that is every time? When your friend becomes uncomfortable to tell you even small good news, she has to think of how to package the good news so that it will not offend your feelings. At some point, you need to also beat your chest and ask yourself, am I a bitch? Do I need deliverance? Learn to be happy for people. Many of us have main character syndrome. See, always ground yourself with this word, with these words. Everything is not about me. Every moment is not about me. There are moments for other people too. And if you cannot celebrate with people, if you cannot mourn with them, if you somehow make everything about yourself, you're not going to have friends. And the reason why they will not hold space for you the way they hold space for their husbands, apart from the friendship, there is no other value that you bring to their life. Apart from gossip, chit chat, kiki, you bring no other value. You cannot hold space for them. You are not a safe space. You are giving competitive vibes. They cannot come to you now and tell you that they urgently need money for anything. Madam. So as how now? How will the treatment be equal? How? Can we be real? The treatment that your female friend gives to her boyfriend, to her husband, can never be the same treatment they give to you. Did she change her surname to bear your own? If the friendship comes to an end, are you guys going to go through any court proceedings? No. So the dynamics are different. That is why it's not hard. It's not hard to think. It's not the same thing. It's not hard. You did not do traditional marriage before you became friends with your friend. You did not go to court. You are definitely not going to go to court when the friendship breaks up. So where, how, on what note, on what level is the comparison? There's simply no comparison. And for what is what, you don't have intimate relations with your friends, you don't make babies with your friends, you don't share family members with your friends. Should I go on? The treatment can never be the same. Because apart from cute pictures, aesthetics, there is nothing else that many female friendships contribute or offer. And until we begin to connect, because the generation that we live in now is such a generation where you know what your friend ate for breakfast, you know where they are vacationing, you know their aesthetics, you know their captions, you know their vibes, you know what they wore last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But you don't know their fears. You don't know their insecurities. You don't know what keeps them up at night. You don't know the reason why they wet their pillows. And you say you are friends. And you even expect delusionally, and I say this respectfully, for them to hold space for you the way they would hold space for their male partners. Be for real. Come on, be for real. Be for real, please. Be for real. You don't know what makes them them. Until we stop performing, until we stop branding, until we stop competing and start connecting, there can never be any real female friendships. Until we keep aesthetics aside. Is it not all these friendships that are selected based on appearance? Is it not all these friendships that are selected based on gadgets, material possessions? I even heard that some people select friendship based on where another person lives. Is it that friendship that you want them to forgive you the way they forgive their cheating husband? It's not the same way why they'll forgive their cheating husband, they won't forgive you. Cheating husband pays school fees. Hello. He pays rent in Lekki. Hello. Yeah. The cheating husband buys cars. He even does things for the in-laws. You know they do am. Wake up, says hello, wake up, please come before. And another thing is, at some point, we need to have friends that we can tell the truth to, because we are not ready. We are not ready. See this part? We are not ready. When we are ready to start telling each other the truth, and the friendships will start working. When we're ready to start connect, because friendship used to be people that can burden bearers, people that can bear your burdens for you, people that you can confide in, and it's not one-sided. They can also confide in you, people that will show up for you when you're celebrating, people that will travel to the ends of the world for your parents' burial, for your children's celebration. Yes, people that show up, people that are not performing. That is what friendship is about at its core. It's not about passing time when you are bored and then you do like this. You will be thinking that you are smart and they're not catching on. But people can tell when you are not genuine. And as I will always say, akonye wetere. What it means is, let me speak it in broken because it enter past. Now the way you bring. Sometimes people are being superficial with you because you are superficial. You don't have depth. You don't show that you can hold depth. You don't show that you have what it takes to be a friend. The people who you think are not forgiving you, they have friends that they are forgiving. They are just not forgiving you. Lastly, before I leave, allow your friends to have an opinion of their own. The fact that you believe A and your friend believes B does not mean the friendship was not meant to be. I see that women love working in packs. They love group thinking. Some people, and as life should rightly be individualistic in your thinking. Some people have a mind of their own. Some people can think for themselves. Some people do not ask what is the popular thing, what are we saying, and do that. Some people say, what am I saying? I know that is rare in the female setting, that a lot of women do not have a mind of their own. They're either doing what their friends say, what their sister says, what their mother said, what their father says, what their husband says, what their boyfriend says. They're always doing what somebody said. Most women don't do what they actually think. Before you turn around and point fingers at other people, ask yourself, am I a good friend? Am I a safe space? Do I hold space for my friends? Or when they're telling me things, when they're confiding in me, I'm gathering it as ammunition, I'm saving it, I'm screenshotting, I'm recording, I'm waiting for a time in future when I was against them. Am I a safe space? Am I selfless? Do I make everything about me? Do I have main character syndrome? Am I envious? Am I self-aware? Do I allow them to be themselves? Or do I have some unrealistic pardon my French, do I have some unrealistic expectations from my female friendships? Just maybe when we begin to answer these questions, then we can start to connect with other people and we can see them not just through our lenses, but actually for who they are. That they are also people with their own insecurities, with their own shortcomings, who also need to be loved, who also needs to be accommodated, who also needs to be held in their vulnerable moments. And then, until I come your way next time, like this video, let me know what you think in the comments. See you in my next one. Bye.